one's the best crypto asset? Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Which one's the best crypto asset? Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Which one's the best? 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 What's the second best?
Did we just experience the Bitcoin bottom at $80,000? As we are going live, Bitcoin tapped $90,000. It's only been a few days since we had a massive crash, and now things appear to be rebounding. We're going to be taking a look at a lot of the macroeconomic factors that we could be walking into over the course of this week as we dare go in front of our drunk uncle and talk about crypto, but also over the rest of the year and what macroeconomic conditions might improve and give us that juicy pump back on up to the upside. It feels like I'm the only bull left in the room except for this man, Kellum. How in the hell are you doing? You're a bull constantly bathing in the bubbles of life.
I'm still I could not be more convinced than ever that everything happening with the downside price action, with the technicals that actually do call for the downside price action we've had. I'm not debating that, but the setups that we're seeing, I have an insanely critical video everybody's going to need to watch on Sunday. I'm not filming it yet, but it's already prepared. I'm going to wait for some price action to play out until Friday when I record it. But some really important signals that are brewing and some things that are suggesting some, absolutely magnanimously wonderful things. But you're right. We did tap into that that $90,000 level. And, this falling, broadening wedge, we talked about this, on a potential breakout here, getting beyond these previous range lows, which we kind of have. We've kind of done both things here, but we're in an interesting sort of zone here, especially on a holiday weekend. You trying to do it on this right there?
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Especially on a holiday weekend, where today's the highest travel day in America. So realize that there's not going to be a huge amount of liquidity. That means whale games may be afoot. We also have tomorrow being the holiday, a lot of family time in the US, which is the liquidity driver of these markets. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the question we got to ask everybody in the audience right now, really, regardless of if you're bullish or bearish, you have to abstract away from that. This holiday weekend between today, Thursday, and as today closes, do you think we are going to have whale games that gap up on the Sunday open on the CME futures? Or do you think we're going to gap down and do one more bear trap or bear movement to the downside? Let me know. Throw that in the comments there, or drop it in the comment down below if you're watching later. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens the next few days.
Crypto bros are afraid, man. Let's have a look. One of my faves out here, Jakey, is having a deep conversation about his upcoming Thanksgiving. Let's have a look. And let me know if this is how you feel, because I know a lot of people feel like,
hey, bro, are you coming downstairs? There's dinner downstairs.
I'm not going.
Really? Why not? Dude,
down.
Grandma's really adamant. She really wants to talk to you. She needs to talk to you about something.
No, I can't see Grandma right now.
Why? What happened? What happened?
Wait, she asked me. She asked me for financial advice. I told her to buy Bitcoin.
Oh my God, dude. What price? What price did you tell her to buy that?
Got the pump fun tattoo.
120. If Michael Saylor was buying a shit ton, I thought we were good. I thought it was going to 200. They said Q4 was going to be the greatest quarter ever.
Oh my God, dude. You got to come talk to Grandma.
No, it gets worse.
Why?
It wasn't spot. It was a long position.
What does that mean?
She was liquidated. She lost it all. She probably doesn't fucking know.
Does Grandpa know?
I don't know. We're not even going to get Christmas gifts this year, man.
I think that's the least of your worries, man.
Are you serious? She always got us the best ones. The puppy, the laptop, the PS5. We're fucked, man.
I'm sorry, I had to do it. Shout out to you, Jakey. He cranked Granny, man, on leverage too. And I reiterate this. I love trading. I have a lot of fun trading. And actually, we have a really cool partner that's joined us on the entire show. 2bit has actually rolled out some pretty good options here. So if you are just getting involved in trading, please do exercise caution. Don't go in there completely overexposed, but this is the basic setup, and I'll make this kind of full screen for us. So You can earn up to 10 grand in USDT rewards deposit amounts. You get trial funds and additional deposits for those. In, say 3,000, you get 600 USDT. Then trading volume can qualify you for up to $10,000, which is always nice for me. I want to get people involved because there's so much fear and like uncertainty about trading, but you can approach it as a based individual and turn yourself into your own Federal Reserve of Tether, right? There is a way to do it.
I just hopped into just a really quick long on Chainlink as the markets were kind of starting to do that swing about. And it was an in and out thing. It wasn't like I threw it in and left on vacation for 4 days to come back and realize my account's negative. No,
Right.
I was literally in and out in probably 7 minutes, made $150, super quick. So there's ways you can leverage trade responsibly and actually make, I mean, you're doing it, every 45 minutes, like, bro, I just did 500. Hey, I just did, I lost 75. Oh, I'm up 3,000. It's all about, making sure you're looking at, yes, the context of the market is more midterm and macro, but specifically when you're trading, looking at the various signals, understanding where the shift in momentum's coming from, and being able to get in and get out at key levels.
And don't trade with Granny's money. Okay. I mean, please, for the love of God. Jakey, much love to you. Shout out. But if you guys are interested, you click the link in our description for 2bit or Blowfin. You can get, we actually have had some, what's been nice, Kelly, is the trading quant's been putting in long positions, which feels really good because the trading quant helped me make a good amount of Tether on the way down in that crash down to 80K. Now we're starting to see the quant. He's whispering from my shed, long. He's saying long through the bars. So it feels good.
Well, I just want to show people, just for those of you, if you don't know what the heck we're talking about, it's this right here. Let's take that off and this right here. This is in the Discord. We have this trading signal calls. This is from an actual quant that's really crushing some stuff, and it could be all kind of different assets. They'd all be on Blowfin, but gives you the exact percentage of your trading portfolio, not your life savings portfolio, your trading portfolio, what leverage you're using. And yes, this is high. Before we've seen 27, we've seen even higher in terms of how much X, but it's also small percentages of the percentage of your whole bag. Basically, you're really calculating. It gives you the take profits, the stop losses, entries, and you're seeing, 84%, 14%. 43.
He's crushing it.
Yeah, but it's been absolutely crushing it lately. So it's been fun to be able to utilize that.
And, there are some pretty cool macroeconomic conditions that are coming up that Arthur Hayes was talking about right before we went live. Arthur Hayes thinks that Bitcoin just found its floor. Now, he's saying that Bitcoin likely bottomed at $80,000 last week and is expecting it to hold at that level as U.S. liquidity conditions begin to improve. He shared that the Fed ends their quantitative tightening officially on December 1st, which we've known, but it's a great, great reminder after we've just gotten bludgeoned with that massive pullback. And you're right, Tennessee grown. Granny ain't going to take it with her. Okay, no big deal. I'm just kidding. God, the Rumble chat is unhinged, meaning this Wednesday, it's likely that the last drop in the Fed balance sheet is going to be happening. U.S. banks increased their lending in November, injecting that fresh liquidity. He sees the macro tide turning and Bitcoin ready to build higher from here. Now, Kelly, if it wasn't for you and the ISM data that you wonderfully highlighted to me, I think it was like a month and a half, maybe 2 months ago, I would have just 4-year cycled out of this thing. Honestly, other than game theory and psyoping 4-year cyclists into thinking they out-traded BlackRock, in terms of what Arthur Hayes is saying here, what information are you seeing on the broader stroke? Like, I know you're always tracking whale wallets, things like on-chain data and things of that nature. Do you see liquidity conditions potentially increasing or whales stacking in? Like, what do you see on that end?
Well, I see this right here. It's the absolute abomination of the destruction of every retail trader's decisions. Up here, you see a story of people losing. Down here, you see a condition where people that have won previously have a good playbook about what to do in markets, setting up, stacking in to not win right now, but to win magnificently later. Because what we see And a completely inverse relationship is retail, short-term holders. I mean, this is the biggest mistake ever recorded for Bitcoin retail holders right now. Why do I say that? Because it's a big mistake? No, because you see this bar go all the way on this very edge. This is retail selling, capitulating into this fear higher than you see it has ever been in this market. Even FTX collapse, even Luna, even the Chinese selling fear. Oh my God, the blow off. No, this was the worst. I mean, by orders of magnitude. And what do we see on the same time frame? This is that dip kind of zoomed in. We're seeing whales, the whale delta here versus retail, whales buying into fear, AKA doing it right. And there's a great data on this. I have it somewhere here from Quentin Francois. And this is just looking. We saw the post this morning on the Discover Crypto stream. Bitcoin has never done this. If it loses at 50 in May, and I'm not knocking on DZ and TJ, because that's a real post. People are seeing that. They highlighted that. The fact of the matter is Bitcoin's never broken beyond all-time high before the halving. It's never had exponential and growing on a magnificent level of institutional adoption and buying pressure, ETFs increasing the way they are, sovereign nation states, and liquidity conditions. But if we strip it back to one thing, just the fear and greed, it's scary. Well, what has it done when it's gone into extreme fear, which is 20 or below? One day on average, this is on average of all the times it's gone below 20 on extreme fear, up 1%, 1 week, up 5%, 1 month, 19%, 3 months, 62% up. This is average.
Yeah.
6 months, 58. Would you be okay with the 48% increase in price action for here? Even if you divided that in half, 25%.
Dude, I mean, with how long as we've been stacking in, I mean, that makes me a very, very happy person. And it's interesting on this slate you got on the screen here that we are now in 2 weeks of extreme fear, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, you could see it. I mean, let's hold on.
That's quite fascinating. We don't get these often.
This goes all the way back. It peaked started about here. About October 17th, and we went out of it, but then it's just been worse and worse fear all the way since it's, about the first week of November on. It's just been extreme fear, which is not the conditions you normally see.
Yeah, that's absolutely crazy. That is absolutely crazy. And, on top of the conversation Hayes and Kelly just laid out, which was very, very concise, the White House is actually setting up a massive tax refund plan for 2026, maybe the biggest ever. It looks like Trump is going to try to win some voters over in the midterm election in 2026 by hammering into massive tax refunds for the middle class is who he's going to target. And also Bitcoin has a crackhead inverse head and shoulders pattern. I mean, this is Atlas. I was on a show with her last night. It's really showing that it is trying to hold off. Now, the point Kelly had highlighted in the nearer term, and that I was also looking at is this 92 zone, like $90,000 to $92,000. Coming up above that and claiming that as support is important for sure. But that's the kind of the situation that we're having right now. With that situation, I'm buying. And I want to ask the chat, what coin that is down right now, but you still would be buying regardless? Huge shout out to Tim Warren, the man with the largest chin I've ever seen in my life, friend of the channel. He's out here asking you, and I want to ask you too, like, what coin is down right now that you have enough conviction to buy when the chips are down, right? Which coin do you think has massive upside still, regardless of the storm that just happened to the crypto market, that you are willing to put your money down on? I personally purchased a pretty good bag additional of a project that we know, love, and adore here on the channel, which is Aerodrome. I bought more Aerodrome.
Yeah, I have to pause you because as you were saying that, I had pulled this up because
you
on the same page, boo boo.
Yes, we're on the same, and it's the revenue, man. Look at, like, not just the revenue, but the power infrastructure of Coinbase. I bought more Aero. Last 10 weeks, Aerodrome generated nearly $50 million in revenue, while Aero emissions exceeded Aero locks by only 4 million. Earning yield while functionally maintaining circulating supply. So this is a very, very well-balanced DeFi ecosystem that has clear inroads of use case and people to push into it. Also, Ricky Romero's bringing Plume. Plume had a great, great day I think it was last night. I was looking at Plume. It was up by like 50% or something like that. So I'll make sure to go check out Plume and the chart after we get through a few of these. But now the reason for liquidity injection is the liquidity stress. Okay. So we don't get the awesome experience of massive liquidity injections without also understanding why the hell the Fed needs to do so. So let's have a drink and let's look at this information and understand it so that people can't speak lies to us as they're doom posting trying to get their bag of Bitcoin down to 40K a unit. So US market liquidity stress surging once again. Banks demand the Fed's standing repo facility, SRF. It hit $14 billion earlier this morning. Now $11 billion on Tuesday, the highest since October. This signals rising pressure inside short-term funding systems. As a reminder, the SRF lets banks borrow the cash directly from the Federal Reserve by pledging U.S. Treasury securities as that collateral. This gives institutions that immediate source of liquidity when market conditions tighten. The usage of this facility jumps. When it does, it usually means that banks are struggling to get cash in normal markets, dealers having less room on their balance sheet, or private lenders having pulled back, insulating into, say, gold, like we've seen gold go absolutely ballistic from doing so. Now, the Fed soon will have no choice but to start buying treasuries, adding further liquidity to a financial system that is absolutely addicted to the drug of liquidity injections, and this will stabilize funding conditions, but only for the short term. As we know, this is just a repeating process time and time again. You can call it quantitative easing or not QE, but it will be similar to the 2019 repo crisis and the response there within. Now, it is one of my favorite charts in crypto. Everyone knows it already, but I think something that you had brought up a long time ago needs to be talked about, Kelly. And I think we should bring up this chart. Okay. I see what you're looking at in the background. Is this what I think it is?
Dude, talk about liquidity. It's not just Bitcoin. Alts are not dead. Now, Matthew, our friend of the channel, Matthew Highland, might be a little bit more bullish than I am, but he's saying alts will outperform Bitcoin for many years going forward. I don't know if that's going to be the case, but what I do know is the case is that we have massive changes to what's happening in the global structure by way of what's happening legislatively here in the U.S. with the market structure bill, with the Genius Act, with the Clarity Act, and then stable coins through all this and how they're going to be integrated, payments, Chainlink, even Ripple will be a part of it in some regards, Quant, Algorand, all the coins that some of you love, some of you hate, Ethereum, Polygon, which I got a great story for everybody in a bit. They might be changing the name back to Matic, but this chart right here, it's showing you this is not just the others price action. This is the others dominance divided by Bitcoin dominance. And we've seen the others chart, all those altcoins that you guys have been hoping to pump, they've been in a massive consolidation for very similar to the previous cycle back 2017. This previous run up, 2 cycles back, 2017 into 2020. But we've been consolidating down now for basically 3 or 4 years, coming down into what looks like a bottom. And if you overlay this with basically the major drivers of global liquidity, US, EU, Japan, and China, we're seeing all the signs. It's not just us. It's not influencers on YouTube. It's not, this guy with the next account that bull post crypto. No, you see the signs and signals that are being put out by state departments and treasuries talking about stimulus in China, 100 billion plus, over $1 trillion in China. In China, 100 billion plus in Japan. My apologies. In the US, we have all the conditions, not only with the tax rebates from the big, beautiful bill, but also the stimulus coming in from the tariff stuff that should be going out, and whether it's tax rebates, whether it's checks to go out, but also the fact that, guys, I think the world is, everybody that's looking at 4-year cycles is unfortunately going to think that they knew what was up, and they're going to be the ones that are left the worse off because they don't believe that liquidity is driving this versus some 4-year narrative.
Absolutely. And this chart, I'm glad you explained beyond what I forgot to cover this yesterday. The Genius Act builds in a requirement for stable coins to be fully backed by treasuries, right? So This is not a situation that we have ever seen before. Absolutely 100% provable. Bitcoin has never entered stagflation. It's never been an option for people to move their money into in the environment of stagflation. Now, we are in stagflation. Gold has absolutely skyrocketed. And we have never been to this point before in terms of crypto. It's a very new asset class in terms of comparison to the rest of the asset classes that people would house their money into. So we are going into the great unknown. With that being said, yes, I have dry powder in case we fall down and plate check $70,000 Bitcoin. Absolutely. I'm a buyer there. But right now, it makes more sense for me as a nasty market maker to make every single 4-year cycle maximalist think that they timed the top of Bitcoin perfectly. Sell their Bitcoin at 120 in October. Let all of the people that are short-term holders question their bags, sell after a 20 or 30% loss, and then send the markets back on up as liquidity increases here.
I do
What
want
is
to
this
say,
chart?
because I forget where it is. Somebody posted $100,000 is the last chance to get out. And again, I'm not a blind bull. I will say that there is a case to be made, and it's a very realistic, reasonable, and well substantiated case on. It's not even a bearish take for price action to come up into here, 198, 102, potentially even up here into this all the way up to 109, reject and work its way down all the way back down to the 70s. This, I mean, if you look at this just from a fib point, this is not something out of context. Look at that. That I did not know the golden pocket was there. That's right where the golden pocket is. On the bearish case, like on the more bearish case, I should say, like Piano Matty B would say, that would be right into this 382, which is right at the 98 level. So we got to be cautious in this zone that you're not, because Kelly said liquidity is coming, the market's going to see new highs. I'm talking about 2026. This market could go all the way down to 73, 72, 61. Who knows what it's going to do before then? I put that on a lower probability basis. If I had to really guess right now, the way I'm trading with my money, I think this is going to come up, trap people that way, trap people this way, and then just rocket up something like that into the first quarter, second quarter of next year.
I love these comments. We will never know. We will know very, very shortly. And anything can happen. It's scary to be in crypto. It is a guarantee that your dollar is going to lose value.
So exciting.
I mean, there's a guarantee in my mind that the dollar is continually losing value. And so finding ways to park the money so that it at least is at work for me, that's what matters, right? Because I have to find ways to outpace inflation. There's a lot of uncertainty out there. Even silver is now trading at $52.94 an ounce as heavy metals continue to gather some of that insulative action from people that are trying to protect their money. While this is all going on, JP Morgan said that Bitcoin has become a tradable macro asset, talking about a targeted $240,000, continues to close bank accounts tied to crypto at the same time. They're talking out of one side of their mouth and acting out of the other side of the mouth. A really, really crazy type of situation here. This is a great post. Yeah, cash is a position. You are in a position if you are in cash. Don't get that twisted.
I did a post on that yesterday, and it was just this. Some people see a dollar as a means to access things, trapping them in a diminishing future. They don't realize that. This is a part people don't realize. You're trapping yourself in a diminishing future. The others, like us, we see dollars as control through theft and sell dollars for Bitcoin to uplift their future. The question is, you all have to decide how you're seeing things being positioned on a global stage, what's going on with control through theft, through inflation, through the devaluation of your hours worked. It's not the valuation of the dollar, everybody. Once you realize inflation is the devaluation of how much your energy was worth when you traded it for dollars for whatever work you're doing. That's when you really get orange pilled and look at other assets as well.
Absolutely. And it's just kind of a crazy thing to think about. JP Morgan shutting down the bank accounts of people as notable as Jack Mallers earlier this month. Representative of the bank said that they are discontinuing business with him in order to protect the financial institution of Chase. Right. Absolutely crazy. On the flip side, they remain bullish on Bitcoin. They're rolling out their own token on the Base network. and they've been building their own blockchain named Onyx for a very long time, years. They are bullish on crypto,
Well, I
but
mean,
on
we can't forget. I don't want to say all the words and get us on every blacklist on YouTube. But there's an island involved, and there is a guy who has Steen as part of his name. And Jack Mallers was very, very big about why would I follow the direction and investing advice of a guy that financed that island and all the bad things that went on.
yes, absolutely.
Because he's an
Lifetime
island
censorship.
boy.
Oh my God, Kelly, you've become so black pilled. It's incredible. Or was it Cosby pilled? No. Okay, moving on. Now, this is kind of crazy.
Feel my face when I'm with you is the Cosby pill.
Japan's going to require their crypto exchanges to set up emergency reserves. This helps prevent losses, keep customer funds safe. If the exchange fails, more guidelines and guardrails being built out. Now, Grayscale has filed for a Zcash ETF. I did expect this to come. Do you think it will be approved? Yes or no? Do you think that they're going to allow a privacy network to approve you think so, Kelly?
Yeah, I mean, think about like the treasury that the Winklevoss brothers already set up through Gemini, not Gemini, but through whatever something bio farmers. I can't even remember the name of the company that has now become a Zcash treasury. I don't know. Here's the answer. I don't know anymore. Everything that's happened in the last 6 years makes me not. I mean, who freaking knows, man? I don't know.
I could see a index including it. And I actually think that they're going to approve this. I really, really do. Though on the conversation of Zcash, I think it's fair for us to look at what the chart of Near looks like, right? Because Near was experiencing some transactional love from Zcash in the upswing. Like Zcash rose very, very high, very, very aggressively. It was maybe the biggest. And Near was connected on the transactional side. I got out of Near a long time ago. And Near is one of the ones that really I like flatlined on, or if I even made any money off of it. It's been one of the more aggravating altcoins for me to witness over the past few years. What do you see? Is Near a pump, or what is going on with this thing?
Let's look, because it's kind of tied in a little bit with the ZK proofs and Zcash and everything that's going on there. But this is on the weekly. Let's double click there. In terms of where it's at compared to previous price action, it's at a bit of a low here. If the market reverses, which it's starting to feel like it's trying to make an attempt, it's kind of in a zone that I think it will move along with many other things. Because this is at a pretty big sell-off. These are weekly charts, by the way. So 3 weeks, this has dropped pretty substantially. Let's look how far that is. 43%. Wow. So this run-up was likely part of that Zcash hype that then just sold off. But let's look at this in relationship to Tau. What is Tau doing right now? So Tau also has had, kind of a sell-off here. So that's not specific to Near having issues. This is that market pullback. I do know that Near is also working in some other AI deliverables and integrations and such as well. But I think it's if you're willing to hold here, it's kind of, here's the deal with altcoins. Even though I'm bullish on 2026, it's very hard for me to say, even though this is not financial advice and you all know that, it's hard for me to say that anything is really a good buy or not here, because we are also at that crux of still trying to shake off whether or not are we going to even get that alt run up in 2026. Because when you do look at the 4-year cycle and you do look at the lack of liquidity and the capital focus on Bitcoin and Ethereum and stablecoin, I don't know. But for me, the way I'm trading, I'm still making some pretty substantial bets in specific coins like Aerodrome, like Chainlink. Near is one of those plays that would be on the tangent of the AI that I think, if the AI space does do well, it'll do really well. But we're seeing a lot of shaking of the AI narrative as well, not in crypto, but with the unwinding or the FUD, we can't tell yet, of what's going on between Nvidia and Microsoft and OpenAI and the big circle jerk that they're doing with this false sense of, everybody's doing better, but they're all investing into each other. So is it
It's
real?
like a financial centipede of AI company is what's going on. Eventually that will come to roost, but I think we got a little bit more time than we believe, currently on it. Now, first I want to talk about Tau, and then I'm happy to talk about Morpho because actually that chart interests me. But Tau, I keep it in my mind to buy this thing if I can get it in the mid 200s. Do you think I got a chance at this? I want to try to FUD this.
You just
my
did.
bags here. Well, mid 200s being like
250.
250.
4 days ago. This was $262.
262, and it's already back at $300.
Yeah. So rejection. It broke through this resistance level, came down, has lost it. So this is the bull trap. Remember what I've been talking about for 2 years. I was watching on all breakouts for a fake out, equilibrium, then the move. So this has a breakout. This has a fake out. The question here is, if we get that move in the crypto market, then I do think that this is going to see that move. It's right on that crux right now. Wow. But a lot of things are, dude. It's not just Tau, even Chainlink, which we love. It's been fighting to get back above this key zone right here. What is that zone? It is a 5-year trend line all the way back to 2020. And we lost it. Oh my God, it's over for Chainlink. Or is it the bear trap that comes back up? Boom. I don't know. But I'm leaning on the side of the bullish side of this because I haven't sold any Chainlink. I've only added.
Yeah. Chainlink's one of the only, I have 4 altcoins or 4 total crypto projects that I feel are very, very long-term. Maybe 5 if you include Aerodrome and Morpho. I mean, I guess that's 6, but it goes Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, Solana, Aerodrome, and Morpho for the long term. I want to look at this story here of Sam Altman's brother apparently got robbed in a wrenched attack. Latchy Groom, San Francisco home. He was targeted in an armed robbery, resulting in the theft of an estimated $11 million in cryptocurrency. Property records show Groom purchased the house from the Altman brothers in 2021. They clarify the victim of the recent home invasion was Groom, not. Oh, okay. So it's not one of his brothers. This is not one of his brothers.
No, it's one of his it's Sam Altman's ex-boyfriend.
This is his ex-boyfriend. Okay. Now you're trying to get me in trouble.
No,
hold on.
It is his ex-boyfriend.
Okay. So I think the moral of this story is in America, you cannot responsibly own crypto without also owning and taking advantage of the Second Amendment. I have a nice combination, you know
what that one calls for?
What's that? Oh, God. Yeah, absolutely. You cannot responsibly own crypto in the United States without also taking advantage of your Second Amendment. Now, what the combination I find is the most useful is having a couple dogs, if possible, one giant one that can rip a hole in a car, and then one really fast one to get there to the target first, distract them. Then the big dog comes and takes them out. Kind of like Ollie there. She's the fur missile version of the speed.
You know as well as I do. If somebody broke into my house, this dog would only go and cuddle up to them and be like, "What's up, dude? What's up, man? Wait, you want me to chew that up for you before you take it?"
Yeah.
I mean, this is her in premium relax mode on the advanced setting. But wait, there's more because about 3 minutes later, I took another photo of her and she delatched her neck into premium plus. Yeah. So premium plus relaxation mode activated. But yeah.
People kind of ask me hey, can I touch your dogs? And I'm like, no, absolutely not. And actually get off my lawn because you're about to get bit. Right.
You're the youngest old man I know, by the way.
What's that?
You're the youngest old man I know.
Am I? Well, I'm kind of old.
My lawn.
Yeah, I got gray hairs going on. I'm actually almost 40 years old. People call me a kid and stuff. I'm almost 40 years old. But I think having a combination of security, dogs, take advantage of your rights. Is that a pit? No, your dog's not a pit, is it?
Pit Lab.
Pit Lab. Oh, okay.
It's a Pit Lab.
Yeah. And I found out mine's a Cane Corso pit. So the big one's a Cane Corso pit. But just please, for the love of God, take security very, very seriously here in crypto, right? This story about Sam Altman's ex-lover here. God, you guys are trying to get me in so much trouble with this story. Just another picture that, you have to exercise extreme security. Take the situation very, very seriously. If you are, especially me, I'm out here talking about crypto publicly, right? Arculus, great place to store. I got my coins this morning, went into the exchange, took out the coins, put them on an Arculus cold storage device. Literally took me about 1 minute to do. So we have a link in the description. If you want to take advantage of the power of being in control of your own crypto, please, for the love of God, exercise those rights. Now, we talked about Near, talked about Tau. Tau is one of these stronger AI coins, and it's really hard for me to pick strong AI coins because there's so many. It's basically like Tau and virtuals I feel good about. But I feel like Arculus doesn't take all coins, Mr. Guided Energy. It takes most, and then I added all the base ecosystem stuff. It comes on this card, all that jazz, and it uses 3-factor authentication to get it. So yeah, it's a badass cold storage device. So as we embark upon the Thanksgiving time frame, we're heading into it with extreme fear readings. We have sadness across the board. We're right at $3 trillion market cap. Altcoin season looks to be far away, yet the Bitcoin dominance is falling. And now, when I look at this on the all-time graph, we have fallen and plate checked some pretty serious volume nodes on the market cap. This looks like an institutionally controlled staircase to the upside to me. This is what that looks like to me. And that's my hillbilly TA on it. Linnea. Yeah, I like Linnea. I wonder what my Linnea bag is looking like right now. Let's go here. Because I just bought some Linnea. Canton's at 8.8 cents, slightly down. These are both slightly down, but not extreme lows. Really tiny market caps. I didn't do a ton of my portfolio going after these. I think we got it like 12 cents, right around there. So I'm down slightly on it, but if this thing falls down to like 7 cents at the bottom of this wick, I'm going to top off the bag. But I like Linnea. I like Linnea a lot. It's just a time frame you can't overexpose yourself. If you don't have conviction in a project and you're just looking for it to return to all-time highs that it had last cycle, you really need to evaluate what's going on. That's why I wake up every day. I try to lock in and get you as concise of information as possible. Now, you mentioned, is Polygon changing their name again, Kelly? Is that a real thing? Please don't tell me.
Well, yeah, we don't need to bring up the screen, but the key takeaway is it says Polygon Sandeep Naiwal is considering reverting the Paul ticker back to Matic due to community feedback. He said, time and again, I keep hearing from folks in the Polygon trading community that Matic was a far stronger and more familiar ticker. It had history, recognition, and stuck in people's minds. Nawal wrote in an X post calling the idea a thought experiment. So I don't know. He said, my stance so far has been it's too much churn. We migrated to Pol. Let's stick to it. Enough people know it, especially on DC. So who knows? But I do think it was kind of a stupid. What's the reason going from Matic to Pol?
Yeah, I completely agree with Ducey. It's too late. It's too late for you to be changing your name for the third time or second time, or however many.
Hey, lay off the coming up with name changes. And figure out positive ways to get into the crypto narrative again, which is wild because they have so many things that are being built within Polygon. And also a Poly Market was initially very much tied into the Polygon ecosystem amongst many other things out there. Supposed to be one of those top Ethereum L2s, but like everything, we're getting a massive dilution and different options and everything out there. And for whatever reason, everybody's so attracted to the shiny new things. So we do have some churn to still go about in all this, but I think 2026 is going to be an eye-opening year.
Yeah. I'm not trying to say this because I just don't like it. Like Polygon was one of the biggest gainers that I had last cycle. I picked it at 2 cents and G'd it above $2. It was great. It was 100x or plus for me. But seeing the lack of price action reclamation or velocity over the last year and a half has made me very happy that I cheated the entire bag above $2 because it has been an absolute S show ever since then. Why are you losing faith in AVAX? I'm not fully lost faith in AVAX, but I am talking to literal founders. I was on a show with one of the founding members last night, and there's a lot of concern. There is a lot of concern with Avalanche right now. I have a dust bag because I cheated vast majority of AVAX at $52. So I have a little bit of Avalanche left, and I really only kept it around so I could interact on the arena and send people super chats. Because I could, on the arena, I can send, like you're watching on YouTube, on the arena, I can send people money in the form of AVAX. So I kept some around to do that with. But the developers, the people on the core, feel like a massive, massive cultural and systemic change needs to happen internally at AVAX to really kick it back into gear. The community is great people. They are not nearly as toxic as the Solana meme coin cabal. They are not. So thankful for that, but it's been a little bit problematic. What up, Jay? For me, now it's time to stack and get into the right project for 26. Base is always solid. Yeah, I had the same mind frame this morning, Jay. I was feeling about picking up some aerodrome. Picked up some stuff over the last few weeks here, and I bought more Bitcoin on that dip. But we are embarking upon Thanksgiving, Christmas, and it is coming to the end of the year. We're going to be in 2026 before you know it. And I implore you, if you are watching this, if you've dealt with me fudding my own bags, kicking things to the curb, and looking for the best spots to park my money and look for upside, I do implore you. I know we've come a long way since we opened up the blockchain basement at $15,000 Bitcoin. I understand. This next 4 years needs to be the most focused 4 years of all of our lives. Hands down. There is going to be more money to be made in crypto, AI, nanotechnology, and energy systems like nuclear over the next 4 years than ever before in human history. This is a transformation of wealth. This is a technological renaissance. And with it is disgusting upside if we can navigate this correctly as a team together. So with that being said, I know times are crazy. I appreciate someone deporting that scammer.
You are banned!
I love you. Be careful and stay based. Kelly, I'm excited to hear about how your Thanksgiving goes. And always loving having you on the show. Absolutely love it.
We have a great time together. But the question as we wrap this out, last little question before we go. Do you think Chainlink is going to break out of this little baby bull flag up to 14? Or do you think we're gonna retest that back down to scare people at 13, 15 before that? But you know what? I'm a bull. You know, you see it in the playful bull in a bath. It's getting reset before it starts rampaging into Q1 and Q2. So everybody pay attention to what's going on this weekend. We got, I think we have some shorts coming out tomorrow. We'll have something on Friday. We got some videos Drew and I are doing Saturday and Sunday. So stay tuned for those. Drop your comments below. Keep the engagement up. When everybody else is not paying attention is usually when the best times to be in the market are. And that's right now, and I got some heaters. I got some heaters of some data that we're going to be showing. Just remember, everybody, just remember retail selling while whales are buying. Which side of that chalk do you want to be on? Because I know I want to make it to the top with a lot in my bag. But that's all we got for today, everybody. I love you, Drew, and I love every one of you out there.
Well put, brother. I'll see you guys soon.
We just wanted to take a quick second to shout out our sponsor, Arculus. They are a cold storage hardware wallet, helps you secure all of your digital assets for the future. Just tap this thing to the back of your phone and boom, you're in. We wouldn't be able to do this without them, but also wouldn't be able to do this without you guys, the Disco fam. You've supported us a lot over the years. If you want to support the channel now, just use the code DC20. It gets you 20% off this card. It's the #1 way you can support this channel going forward. Thank you for your support. We'll see you at the top.